I know, right? This is a great one. We're going to have Georgia do another one for us.
Anything I can do to help.
Well, thank you, Georgia. We appreciate it. Okay, y'all. My name is Dawn Gill, and Steve Layton is on here as the co-founder of the company. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Just a little reminder, make sure that you guys are in a room to yourselves, doors are closed, everybody knows that you're kind of in here and you don't want to be in a
Muted.
we are going to be open for questions, so feel free to send a chat question. Steve and I are going to both be monitoring it. Tonight's just going to be an opportunity to kind of go through what we offer, like I said, in addition to kind of showing you how our customer service portal works, how you can put in a help desk ticket, kind of working through our website a little bit more. Definitely email me with any ideas, suggestions of any webinars or training that you guys want to receive. And again, my email address is Dawn, D-A-W-N, at realestateiq.co, not com, .co. Okay?
Dawn, could you type in your email address to the chat here?
Yep, that's what I was just clicking on.
Thank you.
Dawn at realestateiq.co. So ask any questions or ideas for webinars. Okay, so can everybody, I'm going to see my screen that I'm sharing. I just want to make sure that everybody can see okay. Steve, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah. And Dawn, just FYI, we got some background noise from some folks, so I just muted everybody for now.
Okay.
And then open up for questions in a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so this is our homepage. Whenever you log in, this is where it's going to take you. And you'll see at the very top, you're going to see the customer service tab. So if you click on this handy dandy little tab, it's going to take you to our customer service portal. We have spent a lot of time and effort in making sure that we're giving you guys a great quality product, that we're not just giving you a demo at one of the events that we're at and kind of showing you, how it works. We're kind of reiterating everything that we've shown you and giving you that online tutorial that you can click on over here, such as the Real Estate IQ training for investing. There's all kind of articles that you can read, and these are really helpful for newbies that are kind of into real estate investment. If you scroll down, it's going to show you how to use the off-market leads, how to get used to doing comps. And I know we've kind of talked about that a little bit, that you guys really want some more training on running the comps. And I can't tell you how many times Steve has said it to me over and over again. 10,000 hours is what makes you a professional, an experienced person at doing anything. And it's no different with running these comps. So, give yourself a break, give yourself a little bit of patience, use our tools, and I promise you are going to become a great person who can run comps. The MLS DealFinder down here, home screen, how to log in, how to create your investor profile. Make sure you're clicking on that investor profile, because you can set criteria when you're in there of like specific areas that you're wanting to look for, or specific parameters. Like maybe you're only wanting to look at properties that are, 40 to 50% discounted. That's what you're always going to look at. You can set that criteria on your profile, so it'll automatically do those searches for you. Some advanced training and searches are down here. Finding and analyzing discounted deals, using the rental index. So that's really good if you're doing buy and holds. So definitely take a look at that. Automated emails. In the beginning, you guys used to get automatically set up to receive all of the new deals that were coming into the MLS DealFinder. And now you have the opportunity to set it so that you do or do not receive them. So if you don't want to get those every day in your email box, you don't have to. You can set those parameters so it doesn't come in, but then you can still log on to the website and get all the deals on the website. So you're still not missing out on anything. Okay. Steve, anything that you want to add as far as the advanced training goes there that I might be missing?
Can you show everyone where to get the calculators, Don?
Yep. Okay, so at the very, very bottom of the screen, a lot of people don't go and scroll to the bottom. Super, super important, especially as a new investor. We have rehab calculators and exit strategy calculators. These are super, super helpful. I'm very new to the real estate investment business myself. I began helping my sister a couple of months ago on the legal part of it, and I'm kind of starting to step in and kind of learning from all these events that I'm going to and from Steve and my sisters, and I've been able to learn how to actually get a rehab budget and what kind of financial strategy I need to look at the end of doing a deal. So definitely come in and look at these rehab budget calculators and the exit strategy calculator. It's going to help you figure out what you're going to have at the final end for, like, it's not just going in and saying, okay, well, this is what it is. This is what I'm going to buy it at. There's a lot of things that we've got to look at, right? We're talking about not just rehabbing, but closing costs, title searches, making sure that the liens are clear. All those things add up, and this is going to help make sure that you're in line to have a bottom number to be able to make that good deal, okay? So definitely check that, huh?
And guys, we're very big on education. So in addition to giving you these calculators, there's a training video that you can watch on how to use them as well. So there's a lot of value in these calculators. If you guys go on other websites and trying to buy, there's a cost to these calculators, but we're providing those for you as part of the membership. So it's really cool.
For sure. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you're having any issues with the website, typically everything runs very smoothly, but you may be on there and you might not be able to figure out something. We are always here to help. We've got a great customer service team that we are continuing to build up and grow bigger. So if you ever have any questions, at the top of this customer service page, all you have to do is hit new support ticket. Once you're on this new support ticket, it's going to ask you just some basic information. Make sure to tell us what's on your mind. It's not just to report an issue. We are always looking to continue to improve our website and our products. So if you have a suggestion on something, don't be afraid to click on a ticket, put it in, and say, hey, would it be possible to, add this to the off-market leads? Or what about having this on the MLS DealFinder? Or what about this parameter for comps? Anything like that, any kind of suggestion, put it in, because we read every single thing and we take everything into account. Our number one goal is to be your advocate in real estate investing. We are all one big team when you think about it. Everybody's here to help everybody. So the way that we can do that is continuing to make sure that we're meeting your needs so that everybody can be a success. Okay, so I am going to go back to our homepage, and I'm going, hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Can you turn on audio for me? Because I'm going to go in. We had a question on some comps, and I want Georgia to be able to ask a question on that. Okay, Georgia, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier, you said you were having some problems trying to run a comp. Can you tell me what your issue was?
Let's see. Well, one thing is I put in an address. Let me see if I've got that here. I usually print everything when I'm learning, but I didn't do it this time, I don't think. Anyway, I put in the parameters for what I wanted, and it came up with a whole bunch. And the process, the step-by-step process is not still clear. It's not real clear to me yet, but I went through and looked at all of the comps that was listed, and then I went over to the map, okay, and I tried to delete, or I deleted the ones that I didn't think fit according to the map and the location, okay, and the distance from and all that kind of stuff, like Steve did. Okay, I did that. But what I didn't remember is what I didn't see. It didn't carry forth from the original screen where you had all the comps listed, and seems like there were little squares where you could check off or eliminate the checks where you or have just the checks that you want on the properties that you want to see. And when I went back, those marks were not there, and I hadn't written down the addresses. So I don't know if it was me. I'm sure it was me. The program is absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I'm looking at it, or I'm looking at you. I had my eyes closed so I could read.
That's okay. So
constructed in my mind. So, all right. So here we have the check marks beside the properties that we want to see, and we eliminate the ones that don't match up as far as year built and
Right. So here's a great example. This one here's got Hudson Forest, Hudson on the Bayou, and Piney Point Estate. So that's pulling up 3 different subdivisions that it's looking to comp against, right? So the program is, and Steve, please correct me if I say this wrong. The program is built to look at specific criteria when you're on the Fast CMA page, and this is the best way to explain it, kind of give you that visual. So it's automatically built in with specific criteria. So it's trying to pick up anything that is at least 160 days within a quarter of a mile, 20% square foot range, plus or minus 10 years. And it's also kind of trying to keep everything in the same subdivision, square footage, and all that good stuff, okay? So, but sometimes there may not be enough in the system for it to really pick up all the criteria that you're specifically looking for. So in order to try and give you a decent comp on it, something that you can compare it to, it may pull in things that are in a different subdivision or on the other side of the freeway. Or I had an example one the other night that it pulled up. The real estate agent had put in that the sale price was $1,000 instead of $100,000. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's human. You've got to remember that the people on the other side of this that's entering the information are human, and they will make a mistake now and then. But otherwise, it fit all the other criteria, right, to meet the comp. But the error on the other side from the people putting it in caused it to skew the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what Don is talking about is that sometimes we see a property and the listing agent and that the value of the comp. We have to take. I think Georgia also. I'm sorry.
I had another question on the CMA that I just, looking at it, I remember when I put in a property that is not listed like off of the off-market list, what asking price? I tried the different pricing and it just wasn't working for me. So what asking price should I put in there as the beginning criteria? Is it the assessed value or what?
Well, your asking price is what you're wanting to purchase the property for. So if the house
Well, I don't know yet.
Right.
See, Dawn, I don't know yet.
So that in that instance, what you can do is you can kind of put in a guesstimate of what you think that property might be about. So say it's a 3, you think in that neighborhood it typically runs around 300,000. So I might put in 200 or 225 as my asking price.
I gotta really look.
All right, so it's not the assessed value that goes in there. I really, I put in what I thought was an asking price, you know, and it didn't
This whole
jive at
thing
all.
here, yeah, if we learn this, we can put together deals to take to
You might want to put it back on mute.
lenders. And also Lending Tree,
Hello?
offered me 30 grand.
The lending
I
tree
didn't
person.
take it.
Hello?
But they have
We've got conversations
I'm
going
gonna
on.
mute everyone,
Muted.
and I'm gonna unmute
Unmuted.
Donna and Georgia.
Thank you. Okay. So
Thank you.
So Georgia, on the asking price section, if it's been added to the MLS, it's already on the MLS, that asking price should already populate based on the other assessments that are in there for an average. Correct, Steve?
Yes. So,
If it's in the MLS.
If it's on the MLS. If it's not on the MLS, that's when you're going to have to come up with what you believe an asking price might be for that area. Then once you pull your comps and look at it, then that's going to kind of give you a better idea of what was sold in that area for the comps to know what you should ask for.
and we get this question a lot because when we added this asking price in this interface, the whole idea is for people to kind of start evaluating, say, a wholesale deal where you have a seller and they're asking for a particular price. So from that standpoint, you can calculate the discount and all that stuff. But keep in mind that the asking price does not affect your comps, right? You're still pulling the same comps. You just need to put some number there. And the most important number is the estimated price because that's your ARV.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So what I think I can sell it for after I have it is what I put in there.
Correct. No.
No.
Then you're going to be way over.
Number, Georgia. It could be 100,000. You can put. I think you can put 0. I don't think it likes 0.
Here, let's put $100 and see. Let's put 1,000 and see.
Right. Go ahead and pull the comp, Don.
Yeah, I'm going to run this out. There we go.
Oh, that reminded me of another question. You have numbered CMAs, how many I've used? I'm scared. Am I limited to 100?
I think so. I think it depends on which plan you have. If you have the whole Houston plan or the whole metropolitan plan, you get unlimited. But if you get one cap, then you don't get a lot of comps. You get
I was supposed to have the whole county and surrounding areas.
Hey, Georgia, I'll look you up after the webinar, and then I'll email you and just confirm that we've got you set up. Okay, so if we're looking at this one, see, my list price would be, it is my estimated price at 1,000. Estimated sale price is $780.
Whoa.
Now, you're not going to make, $779,000 on this property, because if you look down here of what these properties were all sold for, huge differences. Look at the differences in them. Spring Branch, that one is Piney Point. That would have to definitely come off. That's $1 million. I mean, there's all kinds of variables in this one. Definitely have to take that off. Wow. Makes me want to look at this property.
Yeah.
This one right here. This one here. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see if you look at this one and compare it to the one above it, these would be your two that I would probably to look at.
Well, is there any way you can add the year built and the square footage and the 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or 2-bath and all that up on the address that you're doing the comp on? Because it's hard to,
Right there?
you know what I'm saying? Oh.
Oh, guys, this is a very good point. If the subject property is in our database, then we will have all that information, right? There are times where the property, if it's just completely off-market property, it doesn't have the square footage and the year bill and the bedroom and bathroom and all that stuff. So you're not gonna see that for now. But when version 4 comes out, which I believe is gonna be next month, we're adding the tax database. We actually did a big investment in the county data, so it will start pulling all that data for you, and it won't be blank anymore. So we're adding additional piece so that you can have it. But for now, you may not have the bedroom, bathroom, and square and pool and all that information yet.
Okay.
That'll be awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work in the background to make things easier for you guys.
Thank you.
So, Georgia, did that answer your questions as far as looking at the comps and things? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Did anybody else have a question? If you guys have a question, feel free to put it into the chat field, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the homepage and kind of start from the beginning. I know that almost all of you said that you are already using our product, which is absolutely wonderful. So just kind of give you a little bit of background on this original homepage here. In order to find the most deals, I find that it's really great to kind of go by county. Now you do have the option of narrowing it down a little bit more when you go over to the Fast CMA page. But for me, I like to, sorry, I gotta go back into Houston. I like Houston. I'm from Houston. Not that everywhere else isn't great. Okay. So if I go and I search Houston, if I'm working in a metro area, I want to see what's the most recent stuff that's been in there. And I use the map for a couple different things. And it's not just for me to go, okay, what's down here in this list? I'm actually looking at this map to tell me a couple different things. Everything that's green on your map is all of the active properties that are currently out there for sale. And all of your red ones are all of your pending sales. So in looking at this screen, this actually tells me a couple of different things. One, how active is the market? Two, what area do I want to look at? And three, where are they selling the most? So if I'm looking like down here, Central Houston would be a great area. There's a lot of activity here. We all know that up in Kingwood was a huge area, but you can see now that that's really kind of slowed off. We heard the other night at Jet Lending that most of these areas where the flooding was has already been purchased and are being remodeled. So you could see a bunch of them popping back on to go back up for sale because they've been purchased and remodeled. So I wouldn't hold out or wouldn't say that this may not pick back up again because it very well could. But I'm definitely going to kind of look in these areas where it's super busy and kind of make a determination what area I want to look at. And then I may redo my search. So maybe I want to come back in and go, well, I want to look at Southern Houston, or maybe I want to look over in the Highlands or Channelview or Deer Park. I can refine my search then once I kind of take a look at the map. But maybe I just kind of want to take a look at everything that's going on overall. Looking at this main page, I can actually sort it to the properties that are the lowest percentage discount, or do it again with the highest percentage discount. So as real estate investors, of course, a lot of us are looking at those higher percentages. Which ones are those? So I can look on here really quickly and kind of make a quick decision just glancing through. It's something that I may want to take a look at. Typically, if there's no pictures, I kind of skim past by them. Here's some really good ones. Look at this one, $1,000,007 discount. Like, what's going on with that one? That one would draw my eye. 69% discount. Look at the list price on this one, $39,900 with an estimated sale price of $130,000. That's a pretty good profit. With not a lot of money going into it. And if you scroll over, you're going to see if it's active or pending. And sure enough, somebody else thought that this was a good sale as well because it's pending. Here's another decent one, 70%, $32,000, estimated sale price is $109,000. It's active on the market. Let's see what it says here. Investor, 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 don't miss out on the investment special. Make an appointment today. So Stacy's not giving us a lot of information, but it might be something I want to see that's kind of sitting out there. So if I click on the address, we all know that that's going to take us to our MLS DealFinder page here, and it's going to run our comps. And we're going to get to look at some of the stuff that's going on with this property. So it looks like it has been leased before. We're looking at a rental index of 3.02% with a monthly lease of $981. So you could probably do a quick remodel and maybe sell it for or rent it out for $1,000 a month. Might not be a bad buy and hold property. It looks like that most of the properties are selling for around an average of about $110,000, and we can kind of see that from down here. Let's see, there's no pictures though for this subject property other than the outside. Let's see. What about this one? Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
So on the one here that says sold price as 0, this is just a learning question for myself. The list price is $32,500 with no sold price. So is that saying that this is the original build that's never been sold?
This is a subject property. This is the house we're trying to look at. So whenever you're at, that's a very good question, Don, and that's a very good. I'm glad you bring this up because I know a lot of you guys out are pretty new as well. And so when you're using this system, the chart itself is the CMA, right? We're actually looking at the CMA in this table here. And the first one is always the subject property. And because it's not sold yet, that's why the sold price is 0. But what it is, we're showing you the subdivision of the subject property, the year bill, everything, so you can start comparing side by side or by columns.
So it's never.
This is the deal.
Put on the market today. It is a good deal.
This is a very good deal. So if you guys look at the price per square footage column, right? It's asking for $30 per square feet, and everything else is going for almost 100, aside from number 2 here. And I can only imagine what the picture is gonna look like.
Yeah, and there's only one picture. I want to see them.
So this is probably gonna be a pretty big fixer upper.
Well, we've got a few. Let's see. The outside doesn't look too bad. The crazy thing is it's not showing anything on the inside. So what would that tell you? Pretty big fixer upper, like Steve said, right? If we look at the other properties around it.
Right, probably. So for this particular property, I would the risk that I want to at least kind of assess is I want to look at the inside of the house to see how much the rehab is, right? Which you can use. You can walk in the house with the rehab budget, and you can work on itemizing the how much it might cost to fix it up. But also start looking at like these pictures, and the description doesn't tell me if there might be foundation problems. There might be some other reasons, right? There's a reason these guys are selling for 30 cents to the dollar, and so obviously it presents an opportunity for us, but we want to kind of keep those items in mind when we go and see the house. Like, is there any foundation problem? Is there any cracks on the roof? Did the house get flooded recently? Right, those are all gonna be some questions I would have when I go see this house.
Yeah, and just kind of look at these pictures, you can draw the pictures up a little bit and kind of get a better view too. That's one of the nice things that I like to do. But Steve always does this wonderful thing on the map with the Google Maps. Have you guys done it yet? Awesome. Do the Google view, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get there?
Click on the map button.
How did you get? I did. Okay, but how does he go to the street view?
Okay,
he did it the other day, real fast.
Yep.
Now didn't.
Click on there, so that brings up your map. Now you have to scroll down and see the little man down here. Grab him and drag him and drop him at your property.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So see, now we can kind of look around this neighborhood, and it really doesn't look like it's that bad of a neighborhood.
It looks like a neighborhood I want to invest in.
Yeah. Looks like everybody kind of takes care of their property. What, Georgia?
It was probably flooded. Although they didn't look like they were flooded.
And this is just my point of view, and looking at this, if it flooded, look at everything around it. Look at the grass, the greenery.
Yeah.
All of this looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say probably not. Now, the other thing that you can do is when you're on the map, and I'm going to go back to the regular view here. When you're on this view, look around and look, because you'll see the bayous and the bodies of water and things that are around it. So just even looking at this view right here, we can pretty much tell that probably wasn't a flood. You never know what this one could be. This one could be, somebody has passed away and the kids know it needs a lot of work and they just want to get out from underneath it. It could be that easy of a deal.
How do you get a hold of the agents that list these property?
Go back to your on your homepage when you have it pulled up. Let me see if I've still got one up here. I need to move that out of my way. When you're here and you hover over the MLS info, see the agent's listing number.
Oh, it is there. Okay. I always read the remarks.
Yep. Yeah, if you go all the way down, it's always going to have the agent's name and number on there.
Super.
Okay?
Super. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Let me see. I'm going to bring this back up, make sure nobody's asking any questions. Okay.
I asked one.
One more comment. The photos, we were looking at the photos of the subject property. We also want photos of the comps as well. We are sitting in front of a computer and we can do a lot of due diligence, right? So these photos is super awesome because you can see all the pictures all in one go. So at least you kind of have an idea of what these properties need to look like to sell for how much they sold for. And then when it comes time to really actually walk this subject property, you kind of know what condition you need to fix it up to, right? So So you want to pay attention to that. So like looking at these houses, looks like these are very nice photos, but it's not a high-end upgrade for sure. I like looking at the pictures of the kitchen and the bathroom. Look at the condition of the appliances, if it's upgraded, and these houses don't look upgraded. So you want to kind of have a little bit of idea
Now that one's
before
nicer.
you walk out. Yeah, this one's a little bit nicer. It looks like somebody went in and probably rehabbed it or upgraded this property. I think this house was 1980. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's got so someone came in and revamped this property. So 30 cents to a dollar, man. I see a huge potential in this one. This is something that we want to visit.
I would definitely be looking at that one, in my opinion. And one of the things that I always tell people when I'm doing a demo is when you're looking at these pictures, we always have to do our due diligence, of course. We can't just go off of a picture. But the one thing that these pictures will definitely do for you is it's going to give you an initial thought. Is this something that I really kind of want to maybe go look at? Or that's going to take way too much work. So, without this program, you would have to go look at a whole bunch of different houses in that neighborhood and make a decision on it. This way you can kind of look around quickly in the comfort of your home and never leave and kind of make that decision. You know what? I'm going to call the agent. I want to take a look at it. I want to get a closer look at it. So there's another great benefit of using our product. Okay.
Hey, Don, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
For everybody out here, what kind of deals are you guys looking for? Are you looking for wholesale? Are you looking for kind of fix and flip? Are you looking for buy and hold or owner finance type of deals? So 3 options: wholesale, fix and flip, and buy and hold. What would be your exit strategy? If you can type it into your chat box, we can kind of focus a little bit on, because we have about 20 minutes left, we can try to focus a little more on what you guys are interested in. So I got wholesale, fix and flip wholesale.
Fix and flip, or
it's like a lot of interest in wholesale and fix and flip. So kind of, I'm just gonna leave a comment here for buy and hold. You can use the search function when you log in the system, and there's a number called rental index, and you can use the rental index. Just even on here, you can see this property's rental index is 3.02. You can use rental index to really drill in the database and finding houses that could be a buy and hold or owner finance. We can spend a little more time. Again, we're doing a training at your local area, local city, at least once a month. So if you're in Houston, keep in mind that we have tomorrow, and we have 1 event every month, and in the DFW we have 3 events a month. So come to every single event. We start with a 1-hour training, so you can come and ask those buy and hold questions. I think we have some interest in buy and hold, and more interest in fix and flip. I would say in general, MLS DealFinder is very good for getting buy and hold properties, because there's just so many deals out there. You'll get your real deals. And
I just did a rental index search too, and you can see the difference on the map. How many more properties are out there just doing the buy and holds?
Correct. So if you kind of scroll, go down, also we can kind of see all the numbers too. You can find wholesale and fix and flip on the MLS, but you're gonna be more likely to find the higher discounts off of the off-market leads, doing your own marketing.
Yeah, just sorting this one here real quick. There's several, look at this, that are pending on these higher rental indexes. But there's still a few that are active that are sitting out here. You know, anything over 1%, Steve always says is what they're looking for. This is not an area I'm super familiar with, but I am learning it for sure. Definitely something I want to get into more. But these are some really good properties. If you wanted to look at those, there's several in the MLS and under that rental section. So if you're a buy and hold person, definitely start searching and utilizing that part of the tool to help you identify those quickly, and then using those off-market leads that we send, like Steve said, the pre-foreclosures, the probates, you know, the tax liens, any of that would be great opportunities for buy and holds or even wholesaling.
Yeah, and if you're looking to land, just kind of last comment is that if you want to be if you're into buy and hold, and it really depends on if you like fixing it up before you rent it out or not. If you're not into fixing it up, you don't want to look for a high discount percentage. Usually, like this, there's one that says 9.4%, coupled down here. You probably want to look at the ones with a lower percentage in discount, because hey, look, if you can buy these houses and it's cash flowing, you're making money off of these properties. Who cares if you're buying it at market value? Maybe you do want to buy a really good deal, and that's up to you. But you know, you can buy these cash flowing properties all day long that don't have a very high discount, because as a landlord or as a buy and hold investor, I care more about cash flow than the discount.
That makes sense, Steve. That makes tons more sense. And what can you explain one more time for me on the rental index? What is the 1% based off of? Is it 1% of what you purchased it?
Yeah, so it's a very good question. The rental index is basically when you're taking the estimated monthly lease and you divide it by the asking price. So it's essentially the 1% rule of thumb is what we're really looking for. And so if you're looking for the 1%, and for those of you who are not familiar, for buy and hold, you're looking for being able to rent it out at 1% of how much you pay for the property, because all that income that is gonna in general cover all your costs of, you know, the mortgage and the insurance and all that of the property. So experienced buy and hold investor always look for that minimum 1%. And if you have anything more than 1%, the bigger the cash flow, right? You're gonna get a couple $100 to $1,000 every month from owning that property. And so that's kind of the attraction of buy and hold. Searching for, so Dawn, could you go back to the home page? There's a question about finding or searching for the rental index.
Okay.
That would be down here on the second half of the screen on the home page.
Yeah. Here? Is this where you want me to go?
Yeah, that's it. I think that would be sufficient. That's where you started to before we went to search results page.
Yeah. So
we got about a little over 10 minutes. I think we should switch gears to the off-market leads, because it seems like the majority of folks are interested in the wholesale or fix and flip, high discount type of opportunities.
Okay. Let me bring, because I don't think I had one up yet. Okay. So most of you, I think, said you guys were already using our products. Y'all should be getting this email every day. And this email is what's going to load all of the off-market leads for your probates, your pre-foreclosures, tax sales, evictions, liens, appointment of substitute trustee, code violations, and what's the new one we're adding, Steve?
We're looking at delinquent taxes. We're hoping to start adding it in February. The challenge with these delinquent taxes is that it's a huge file that we have to purchase from the county, and we actually kind of have to build a database or figure out how to unzip all that data. So those are kind of the things that we need to work on before we release it. But we're hoping by February we'll have a beta version that you guys can access.
Very good. Okay, so every day we have 15 full-time employees that's actually gathering all of this information to provide to you guys every single day. So every new filing that happens at the state, within 24 hours, our wonderful staff is actually providing you this information within 24 hours. So you guys are getting it a lot quicker than the general average person does. They don't have to get out of their house. They don't have to log into the computer to go to the courthouse or whatever to find all of these leads. We are doing all the legwork for you. Steve and I were talking the other day about how much it is if you had to go get all of these every single day of all the new filings. You'd be looking at about $1,000 a month just to get these continued lists every day for everything that we're providing you. So use these spreadsheets, okay? I'm going to open up one. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what you can do with the spreadsheets. And a lot of you are like, hey, I want a webinar on how to figure out how to do mailers and how to manipulate the spreadsheets. If you're not very good with Excel or Google Sheets, we're going to definitely get us a class going so you guys can get comfortable with it. So filters needs to become your friend on your Excel spreadsheets, because I know a lot of you are getting, like if you're getting the Houston or the Dallas or Austin area, this is a pretty big spreadsheet, and you may only be focusing on a specific area of town or a specific county, and that's what you want to hone in on. Or if you're looking at this every day and you're sending out mailers every single day, you don't want to keep sending it to the same person you just sent it to the day before. So learning how to manipulate the spreadsheets and using the filters to then be able to create a mail merge is going to be very time saving for you. First thing that you should need to learn to do is click on the very top left-hand corner, okay? And that's going to highlight your entire spreadsheet. And then you need to learn what a filter is. So it kind of looks like a satellite, I guess you could say, that's kind of sitting on its nose. So you can create new temporary filter views specific to what you're wanting to do, or you just click on it, it's going to pop in those filters for you. Come on. There it goes. All right.
And you know, Donna, I want to just kind of chime in here. There's a temporary filter that you can do. Another thing that you can also do is to download this file. You can always export to your computer, and then you can manipulate however way you want.
And it is so much fun.
Right.
George,
so you want to go to
Excel?
I'm sorry. I transfer it to Excel, and then I manipulate it on all those different categories. But if you'll go up to data on yours up there and click on it, then you can sort by whatever. If you won't,
You wanted to sort it, yeah.
Yeah, you just go to G, say, for the city instead of record date.
Right. You can do all that work, but keep in mind this is a temporary thing. You won't be able to save your work. So you don't own this file. You're on view only. And that's if you're a guy.
Oh, you're cutting out on us, Steve.
I'm sorry?
I said you cut out on us.
Yeah, so we don't want to do that, the access. What you want to do is to go to File, Don,
Yeah.
and then export it, download it as Excel, and play around. Use it in your own computer. I think that's gonna be a
Yeah.
much better.
I just don't have Excel on mine. That's why I couldn't do it.
Oh.
I need to get Excel. I got a new computer. I need to get Excel. I need to get Word on it. So that's why I did it that way. Anyway, so once you get your filters on for Excel, like say I only wanted to deal with Dallas County, I can actually type in Dallas and it'll filter it to that. If I want to maybe do Dallas and Denton, I can just uncheck the ones that I don't want, so you can kind of manipulate it the way you want. So now I've got Dallas and Toronto, and I got rid of the counties that I don't want. Like Georgia said, you can actually sort your spreadsheet. And I want to, there we go.
You have to go over to it.
I sorted it by my record date. So that my older ones are at the top and my newer ones are at the bottom.
Zip code is a good one.
Is that a good one too?
I like it. I like zip code.
County's a really good one. Zip code's a really good one. You can, maybe you're just focusing on a specific city. You can come over and, you know, maybe you only want to look at Addison, or, which I didn't go down and get rid of all of them, but yeah. Then I want to go, okay.
Another one that's good is the equity
percentage. Yes, that's a really good one too. And I look at that one a lot. When I'm working the foreclosure one, I'm looking at those. Come on. There it goes. Okay. So looking at your estimated equity in a property, definitely you can do filter values on there. In Excel, the Google Sheets is a little more limiting. But when I do the webinar for actually working the spreadsheets and creating the Word documents and things that you can do your merges, I will have Excel and Word so we can really go through all the different little things that you can do with your filtering and putting in rules that's specific to it. Like if I want to put a rule in that says I only want to see something that's got a minimum of 50% equity based on their original loan value, I can teach you how to do that, so it'll pick up only those specific percentages. That makes sense?
Don, we got a question. How can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How is the estimated equity calculated?
Okay, that's a good question. And I've only learned this once, Steve. Okay, so the estimated equity is based off of the original loan amount less the total amount paid in, correct?
Assessed value.
Very, very close. So the way we do it is we do a lot of research on what the original loan is, guys. And there's also, if you kind of go to a couple columns to the right, we also find out when the loan was taken out. So based on that, we can amortize it and figure out how much the unpaid balance would be. So that's your column SS here. And then you subtract that from your tax appraisal value. That's how you can get your equity.
Look at that. See? I learned even more this time.
Right. So this is kind of like a quick run, right? Because we can obviously run a CMA and figure out what a good ARV is. But because there's so many properties, right? We're talking about hundreds and thousands. It's easier to just pull the tax assessed value and do that quick filtering and look for the houses that have high amount of equity. Right? If you're looking for wholesale and fix and flip, you know, you want to hit up houses that have a big equity and are motivated to sell. So
Like
that's
that one
how,
right there, 222,000.
right, that's a very good one. So you want to use the ones that have a high equity percentage or a high amount of equity, because you need some wiggle room to come up with a win-win solution with the homeowner.
For the homeowner and for yourself, because they don't want to walk away with nothing, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, y'all, how is, and you said you answered that one, right? How is estimated equity calculated? Okay, I think that is it. I told everybody about the, oh, Milton has a question. Are you just guessing at the interest rate and the number of payments in arrears?
That is a great question. So how are we getting our interest rate? So we look at we're trying to find the historical interest rate when the loan was taken out. And that's basically our best way of estimating. And then using that historical interest rate at that month, that's how we do the amortization. Are you just guessing the number of payments in? So we don't know the number of how many payments they are behind. So those are not in this equity equation here. We don't want to guess it. So we want to give you. We could just go, hey, let's just say that they have not been behind. You know, this is as much equity that you can have. If they owe more money, then obviously they will have less equity.
And if it's got a negative equity, that would be one that I would not want to look at. Agreed, Steve?
Correct. Yeah, those are going to be maybe like a
They're
short sale.
upside down.
But you usually don't want to go out there and pursue short sale opportunities. I don't think that's a good strategy. It's gonna be much more profitable hitting up houses with equity. And then, you know, sometimes you're gonna contact the homeowner and you're gonna go, oh man, there's like no equity in this property, and it's actually a short sale, and that's, you know, maybe you want to specialize in short sale, or you just refer it to somebody else that specializes in short sale and get a referral fee, because, you know, short sale is can be profitable, but it requires a completely different system that you got built for your business to handle short sale. We'll have a class. I think we recorded a class training on short sale as well.
Oh,
So
awesome. And Joe and Janice, you had asked how you could find out what training is available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you go to our MLS DealFinder page and go to the education tab, there'll be an area for Dallas, and it'll have like the webinars, the event trainings, and things like that there. So you can click on those links to see when they're going to be offered for Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay. And I think that was all the questions. Steve, do you see anything else I missed? Hello? Hello?